because you're a rocket scientist doesn't mean you can be an NFL coach.
They both deliver the same hard-nosed mentality message. The difference is Campbell will take care of us as players. Matt Patricia doesn't.
He just came in trying to be Bill Belichick. That's not only an asshole, that's a dummy.
More interesting things that came out actually was TJ Hockenson on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast talking about his former head coach, Matt Patricia.
I'm sure he had very nice things to say about him.
Well, it was interesting. It actually wasn't what you'd expect from any Lions player who was coached under that fat bum.
He said he was great?
It was quite complimentary.
Okay.
I was his pick. Always treated me well. Never disrespected me. And
yeah,
honestly, it kind of made me laugh.
But that's not saying anything. That's just saying the guy brought me to the league. I got paid. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That didn't help me get any better. But he did speak on, I think what's more important is the difference between him and Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell will cut meetings to communicate with his players. Dan Campbell will go out of his way to communicate. Matt Patricia would walk in the room, everybody sitting down, and everybody would have the same expression. It was, here comes Bill 2.0, trying to flex on us. Here we go. Let's see what it's going to say today. And the difference is, and what Hockenson, and I'm paraphrasing here, is he said they both deliver the same hard-nosed mentality message. The difference is Campbell will take care of us as players. Matt Patricia doesn't. He doesn't treat us like players. We're objects. We're things that just go out and off the field. That's it. I found that pretty interesting.
That is how you lose a locker room. And the thing is, Matt Patricia did not listen to the league. The NFL was screaming, if you take over the Lions job, do not become Bill Belichick 2.0 because you're not him. You will lose your locker room. That's what they were screaming at him before he even took over. And guess what? He just came in trying to be Bill Belichick. That's not only an asshole, that's a dummy.
It's a dummy, but I'm sorry. Didn't you learn from Josh McDaniels all those years ago?
Should have.
We've seen the Belichick tree be very unsuccessful.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you can't be that stubborn. You can't walk into a new team trying to establish your culture without some give and take, right? It's like
and plus you think everything you do is better than everybody else. You know, had that problem. Charlie Weiss. Charlie Weiss, when he took over at Notre Dame, I am so smart. You guys are so lucky to have me. My players suck, but I'm gonna make them better. And this is what Matt Patricia did. And it's not. I know the Lions are a bum organization, but you still have to come in and respect the players because they are in the NFL.
You have to respect the organization. You have to respect the fans and the players. There are many head coaches that fail because they don't do many of those things. And also, let's not forget, Matt Patricia doesn't get a pass for anything in life. When you show up and the first thing you do is outcast Darius Slay, who in the NFL right now is still a top 100 player, by the way.
He is. I saw that.
When you outcast these players, when you talk to them the way you did, and then you move them out of town for nothing, and then you sit here and tell me, well, we're going to take Jeffrey Okudah, number 3 overall. I can't. There are levels of stupidness in life, Terry. You know, there's a spectrum. You have your really smart people, geniuses, oh my goodness, Yale, Harvard, all those people. You have the smart ones. You have the average people. You have the really dumb people. You have the lowlifes. You have the homeless people. And then
so what you're trying to say?
Wait, and then all the way, a mile and a half.
He's not done yet.
A mile and a half down the road, right? There's this little niche group of people that have achieved a level of stupidity that maybe we have never seen in life before. And Matt Patricia belongs to that group.
In other words, just because you're a rocket scientist doesn't mean you can be an NFL coach.
What it means is just because you're a dentist doesn't mean I'm going to take my car to you to fix it.
And what I'm not going to allow you to.
And what Matt Patricia always was a glorified defensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. And people forget we hired him after they gave up 40-plus points to the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Where Tom Brady set a Super Bowl record for 505 yards passing, and they still managed to lose that game. That's the guy you hired.
Now, the Lions have a history of doing this. They hire or implement things that have already played out. For instance, when the West Coast offense was hot, Lions didn't jump on that at first, but then a few years later, when all the defenses finally figured out the West Coast offense, guess what the Lions came up with? The Great Lakes offense. They didn't call it the West Coast. It was but it was essentially the same. Wayne Fontes was having fun and called it the Great Lakes offense. Then when we already know, even children know that the Belichick tree is dried up and brown, the Lions say, you know what, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the Belichick tree. And it's going to work here. Doesn't work anywhere else, but it's going to work here.
You know,
stupidity.
Every coach, to be fair, has their own unique style of coaching. Sure. I think you have to respect that. And I think as a head coach, whether you win or lose, you should win or lose your way of coaching, right? You have to stay true to what you understand, what you know how to do. Mm-hmm. The problem is Matt Patricia just didn't know what the hell to do. He didn't know how to communicate. He didn't know how to get players to buy into his message. You know, one of the things Dan Campbell has done, which you can't take away from him, is he has at least gotten his team to buy into his message.
Right.
Whether or not they're successful, we've seen a lot of players who love the coach's message. They're not successful on the field. Point A, Jim Caldwell. Players loved him, treated them so well, communicated so well with them. But when you have back-to-back 9 and 7 seasons and you don't feel like you're going anywhere, it kind of gets stale, right?
Yeah. Be careful what you say, because if Joik Bell is listening, he'll come and punch you.
Joik, I'm waiting for Joik. I have beef with Joik about this.